I don't have empathy. And I know saying this is already going to cause some people to just dislike me based on instinct. And I think this is like a part that is like severely unjustified because I understand that empathy is supposed to be like this basic human feeling you have. You see someone who's feeling bad and you sympathize with them, you understand how they feel, you understand that they feel sad, and you can act with them, you understand it, you feel a certain way, right? So when someone says that they lack it, that they don't have it, they don't feel this feeling that should be a basic thing, your first reaction based on a lot of things, just like human instincts, but also the things and the way we're sort of programmed by the things we see, like in movies and the news, people who lack empathy in these things are set to be serial killers, people who don't care about other people, just generally. And the truth is, that's not the truth for most people who lack empathy. Such as myself, I have always struggled with this feeling. Like, it caused me a lot of problems when I was younger because kids didn't like me on instinct because when they felt bad, I didn't care. And I was like, well, okay, like, I didn't care about it. Which just did a bunch of problems for me. But at some point, I decided and I realized that one of the reasons that these things were happening to me was because I lacked this thing. I lacked this form of empathy. So I started doing what I would call researching. I started reading articles about it. I actually started talking to my parents about what empathy was and how it was. I started talking to people in general, and I also started like studying people. When I went to school, I would look at the kids around me and I would read and I would look at how they acted when other people felt sad, and I would mimic it. I would have an understanding. And the fact that I started with not having anything at all and I studied it until I mastered it. And even though I don't have it, actually I think I might need to make a distinction here, okay? So most people, when they say they lack empathy, they mean they lack emotional empathy. Emotional empathy is just like the base feeling, the thing you feel as soon as someone starts to feel bad. Okay, it's not an understanding, it's not nothing, it's just a feeling you get. You feel bad for them based on instinct, okay? You don't think about what happened to them, but you feel bad because you feel bad, because they feel bad. You feel with them. It's like a human thing. And then there's cognitive empathy, which is the understanding that they are feeling bad, therefore you should feel bad. Like that they feel bad, so you understand why they're feeling bad, and you understand how you should act based on how bad they're feeling. Like, it's an understandment. And most people, when they say they lack empathy, they have cognitive empathy. They understand that they should feel bad, they just don't feel it, right? And it's very rare that someone lacks both. I'd say it's very rare that someone lacks both. But yeah, so I lack emotional empathy, but so I've actually I built my empathy up, I built my cognitive empathy up, so now it sort of mimics unemotional empathy. So it's come to a part where I've apparently done it very well, that one of the reasons that building up your cognitive empathy is a good thing is one of the flaws with like general normal empathy is that when people feel bad, they mostly feel bad by people they care about, okay? They feel bad about people they care about, people they like, people they're worried about. That's who they feel bad for. That's who they have the most empathy for. So a person they don't know and they don't really care about, or just are neutral towards, are not going to get like the same empathy from them, and maybe not even anything, because they don't really care about that person, you know? Like, if they dislike them or they don't know them, they're going to think, oh, well, why should I care, right? While someone like me who doesn't have emotional empathy but has cognitive empathy sort of has this ability to decide, like to choose who you want to have empathy for. So if one of my close people who are close to me, I can decide to feel bad for them, but I can also decide to feel bad for a person who I don't know, because when you build up your cognitive empathy, you build up a bunch of other skills. Like I have a very big, high, sensitive justice or sense of justice. Like when I see injustice in the world, I genuinely get angry at it, and just at any point, and it's actually a little bit negative. But yes, so like it builds up a bunch of things, you know? So I can understand that someone over here in another place of the world is having it really bad, and I have empathy with them because I understand it. While someone who has emotional empathy and a less, also cognitive empathy, but also a little less of it, they're not going to understand as well, and they aren't going to feel as bad, and they aren't going to show as much empathy, you know? While I would understand both sides, and I would actually be able to empathize better with both of them, you know? So that's a plus point to cognitive empathy. And just so I think the part where people misunderstand is just the part when someone says they lack empathy and they immediately think you're some kind of serial killer or something like that. So yeah, I've built it up, and I wish I could say that this is like I would strongly think that this is the case for most people who say they lack empathy, though I cannot speak for everyone when I say it. I think that's how it works, because most people who lack it realize they lack it, realize what it's doing to them that they're lacking it, and they try to do something about it because they understand, and so on. So lacking empathy is not necessarily a bad thing. It depends on how you handle it. If you go your entire life knowing you don't have empathy, but you don't try to do anything about it, it's gonna have negative consequences on you. You're gonna sound weird. People are not going to want to be around you if they know that you wouldn't care if they're feeling bad. Whether you're anything, really. Like, if you don't have this, you don't, because empathy is a big part of charm. Like, if you don't have empathy, your charm drops a bit, and people aren't going to be like attracted to you in a sense that they don't want to be around you. As if you know you lack empathy, and then you handle it by trying to do something about it, by trying to research, by trying to understand, you are going to end up with something rather positive. You're gonna understand better, and it's gonna end up positive for you. So really, just the base thing of not having empathy is a neutral thing, because it really all depends on how you handle it, and I think that's the case with most things. So yeah, bye bye.